No, only 10th standard has the next one second. I have to see the timetable then.
ಸಂಡೇ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಈಗ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಮನೆ ತಗೊಂಡಿರಲ್ಲ
ನಂಗೆ ಇರೋದು 10th ಒಂದೇ 10th only one class ಇದೆ that is finished. यही साउंड हमारा ನೋಡಿ ಅದೇ ಹಾ Yes, students, is it clear? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yesterday, due to the power supply, we had missed the half of the class. Okay. So let's start now. Yesterday, we were studying about what? About water, isn't it? We were studying about water, and water is the basic necessity of all the living creatures, isn't it? We were studying about the water, and water is very important for all the living animals, all the terrestrial animals, isn't it? So without water, we cannot imagine the life. And after that, I told you to do one activity. What was the activity? The activity was to observe the rainfall pattern in an atlas of India. You have to observe the rainfall pattern of India. Then after viewing that, you will come to know that overall, whatever the pattern is there, it doesn't explain to you more clearly. Just you have, when you see, you will come to know that whatever the water scarcity regions are there and the poverty regions are there, both were the similar. That means wherever there is less amount of the water, the people are usually poor. Okay. So by seeing the rainfall pattern, the first thing that you understood is wherever the water is less, wherever there is a scarcity of water, the place there, wherever you see the less amount of the water is there, the place is exactly same as the poverty region, acute poverty region. Okay. The people will be usually poor because they are suffering from the lack of so many resources, not only water, maybe other things also. But usually what we are studying about the water means we are observing the rainfall pattern. By the pattern, we understood that water scarcity regions and acute poverty regions, both are the same. And after that, we have studied due to the human interference, so many regions where the water sources were earlier available, now it has been changed due to the human interference. Okay. So whatever we understood about the rainfall pattern is that the second point. What is the second point? Yes? Did you remember? Just recall. Second point was the main water source is the rainfall. Okay, whatever the availability of the water is there on is usually due to the monsoon, and rain doesn't come throughout the year. Okay, rain doesn't come throughout the year, and whatever the water sources are there on the earth were utilized to complete the basic needs, and they were not sufficient. Why they were not sufficient? Because yes, why they were not sufficient? Why the water on the surface of the water was not enough to complete the basic needs or the needs of the agriculture? Why it was not sufficient? Because what was the two reasons behind it? Yes, what were the two reasons? Is anybody? Are you listening me? At least you tell me. Everybody is listening now? Yes, students? Yes, Abhilash, hearing me? Is the sound clear? It is about 9:05. That means I have started in time. Yes, Aditya, the sound is clear now?
Yes, ma'am, clear.
Everybody, are you hearing me properly?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, then why are you not answering me? Okay, so let us come to the subject. See, whatever the availability of water was there on the ground was not sufficient because it has been continuously polluted by the two main reasons. Which are the two main reasons? by which the water is being continuously polluted. Yes, which are the two reasons? Yesterday we have discussed about these two reasons. Which were the two reasons? Yes, students, due to the due to the industrial effluent and due to the waste of the urban, okay, urban waste and the industrial effluent is being continuously polluting the water on the surface of the earth. As a result of which we went in the search of the other sources of the water and we have searched the underground water and we started using the underground water, okay. And in the ancient time only, Indians were aware about the irrigation projects, like which were the irrigation projects that we discussed yesterday. Yes, just recall. At least open the textbook. Okay, open the textbook, keep it open. Yes, which were the irrigation projects?
Tanks.
Yes, very good. Tanks, dams, and canals. These were the irrigation projects which were known by our ancient Indians. And they utilized these irrigation projects for completing their basic requirements as well as the agricultural needs. Okay, that water, the stored water, was used by our Indians in the ancient time only for completing the basic requirements of the local people or maybe for the agriculture. And these stored water sources were completely controlled by the local people itself. By their experience of the decades of the centuries, it was under the control of the local people only. And it was managed very well properly along with the sustainable, it was sustainably managed, okay. There was a sustainable management of those stored water resources and everything, local requirements were also completed. Now we will come to the Britishers' arrival. See, whatever before the Britishers' arrival was there, everything was under the control of the local people. Now when the Britishers arrived in India, they started exploiting so many things. As they exploited the forest resources, in the same way they started exploiting the water sources also. Due to their interference, due to the Britishers' arrival and the Britishers' interference in the exploitation of the resources, they also exploited the water sources also. How did they exploit them? How did they exploit the water source? Means they introduced, the Britishers were the first to introduce the big projects like dams and canals. What did the Britishers do? They introduced the big projects, which were those dams. And the second were canals. Naturally, dams are there means they will be, the water from the dam will be supplied to the different places through the canals only, isn't it? So due to the Britishers' arrival in India, what happened? They introduced they were the first to introduce the big projects. Who? The Britishers. The Britishers were the first people to introduce the big projects like dams and the canals. And the water sources, whatever they were available earlier. Now the regions have been changed. The regions of the water availability naturally changed. See, if a river is there, continuously it will be flowing. If it is flowing, whatever the cities and the towns will come across the river, everybody will get the water. For example, let us imagine that the river is flowing like this. That means whatever the places are there, here, and to it, everybody will get the water. But the introduction of these kind of the projects, if they want to build a dam here only, okay, if they have built a dam here, then whatever the amount of the water that they were getting in the earlier days, the quantity of the water will be changed naturally, as a result of which they will be suffering from the scarcity of water. Whatever the benefit is there, it will be for the people this side only, not for this. They will be suffering from the scarcity of water. Okay, due to the introduction of these kind of the big projects by the Britishers, there was unequal distribution of the water. There was unequal distribution of the water. And after the Britishers left also, still our Indians, independent Indians, they didn't use their old or local knowledge of the irrigation. They didn't use the traditional or we can say local irrigation knowledge. they still continued to follow the Britishers only. Okay, what they did, they didn't use their old knowledge. They didn't utilize their local irrigation projects. They totally neglected their total irrigation project. They continued the path of the Britishers only. They followed the Britishers only by constructing this kind of the big projects. As a result of which there was loss of the control of the local people on the local water sources. Whatever the local water sources were there, which were under the control of the local people, that control was lost by the local people, because after the Britishers, when they left away India, India became independent. And whatever the irrigation departments were there, as we studied, the forest department came in. The forest areas were earlier controlled by the Britishers. Now it has been come under the forest department. In the same way, when the water sources were controlled by the Britishers, after the independence, these water sources, which were in the control of the Britishers, now came in a particular department called irrigation department. And these irrigation department people, the government people, okay, irrigation department people are the government people. They didn't use the local knowledge. They didn't utilize the local irrigation methods. They totally neglected the local irrigation methods, and they followed the path of the Britishers itself. They used the same big projects like dams and the canals for utilizing the water sources. So in this way, Britishers' interference in each and every kind of the exploitation of the natural resources completely led in the mismanagement of the natural resources. Okay, because of that only the natural resources were totally mismanaged. Did you understand about this one? So let us sum it up. Water for all. Okay, water for all means water is a basic necessity. So what did you learn from the rainfall pattern of India from an atlas? What did you learn? Yes, just recall. Just tell me what you have understood about this one. Yes? First thing that you observe from the rainfall pattern of India. What is the first thing that you have observed? Just first point. What did you observe? Yes, first point. What did you observe? By seeing the rainfall pattern of India from an atlas, what did you observe? Yes, the voice is not clear, Aishwarya. Yes, Aditya. Yes, anybody else? I am not hearing Aishwarya. Your voice is not coming only. Okay. Is anybody else? Students? What did you observe from the rainfall pattern? Others? Nagaraj, what you are doing? Try to answer. CM Nagaraj, where are you? Name is there. Where is our CM? Yes? Anybody else? What is the first thing that you will observe from the rainfall pattern of India? I will help you. Just answer this. See, water scarcity regions and what are same as the water scarcity regions are same as the water scarcity regions are same as the nobody is ready to answer. What happened? Not showing interest in the studies. See, science is not a subject that has to be neglected. You should not neglect any subject. Not, the meaning is not that you should neglect the subject. You should show interest in each and every subject. If I have explained yesterday also, I have explained, now also I explained, then why are you unable to answer it? Is it not clear, or have you not understood? Is anybody any doubt? Shall I explain it once again? Yes, students, are you hearing me at least? Is the voice clear to you? Yes, Abhilash?
Yes, ma'am.
Why? You have understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Then answer me.
Ma'am, poor re-
Acute poverty regions are same, okay? By the rainfall pattern, you have observed that water scarcity regions and the acute poverty regions are same. And the second point that you have observed, yes? Anybody else? One by one, if you make a list of points, it will be covered within 2 seconds. Isn't it? Yes, girls, where are the girls? So only 22 students are there. What about the others? Yes, girls, Shweta, Asharani, Sneha. So many members are there. What about you? Answer me. Shushti Tambe, Shushti. Yes, 2 Shushtis are there. What about you? Are you there? Hearing me? Yes, Shushti. Let me see which Shushti will answer. What have you observed from the rainfall pattern of India from the Atlas? Second point, Shushti. 2 Shushtis are there. At least 1 Shushti. That means they are absent. So today's class, I will write absent in your attendance. Remember it. Those who are not answering, so I am calling the names one by one. Those who are not answering me, after this class, I will put absent in the attendance sheet. So is it clear to you? Those who are hearing me, now I will call by names only. So if you won't answer me, at least if you don't know, you should say, I have not understood. Or let it be wrong, you should answer it. If you are not answering me after this class, whoever I have called, I will put absent there. Remember it. Okay? Now 2 Shushti is absent, Sneha absent, Shweta absent, Asharani absent, Priyanka also absent. So let me come to the boys. Nagaraj absent, isn't it? CM absent. No answer means absent. So let me come to the studies. The second point, the first thing you observe that from the rainfall pattern, whatever the water scarcity regions, means wherever the water is less, no, those regions are similar to the poverty regions. Poverty region, acute poverty regions means here the people are very poor. And the second thing that you observe is whatever the availability of water on the surface of the earth is there, no, that is due to the monsoon. Monsoons means usually because of the rain. Whatever the water is available on the surface of the earth, that is due to the rain. And the rain doesn't come throughout the year. Okay, the rain doesn't come throughout the year. It rains only for few months. And that is also not sufficient for completing the requirements of the local people. In general, the people, okay, people and animals everywhere. That is also not sufficient for completing the requirements of the people for maybe basic needs, or maybe for the agriculture, for industrialists, everything. Along with that, whatever the sources are there, they are being continuously polluted. They are being continuously polluted by whom? By the urban waste, or by the second thing. Yes, who will answer now? What is the second cause for the pollution of the water sources on the surface of the earth? So let me call the name now. Next, absentee. Who want to be absent? Though your name is here, you will be absent now. Anybody want to?
The question.
Say, I am asking you, whatever the water sources are there on the surface of the earth, they are being polluted. One of the causes I have told, you have to mention the next cause. There are 2 causes for the pollution of the sources, open sources of the water, isn't it? So what are those 2 causes? You have to explain me. Yes, Sidram Goda. Yes?
Jason.
I am unable to hear your voice. Okay, Sidran Gowda present. I didn't hear the answer. Let it
Ma'am,
be.
discharge of domestic and industrial effluent waste.
Very good. Discharge of the domestic and the industrial waste. That is urban waste and the industrial waste. Aditya present, Sidran Gowda present. Remaining members absent. Okay. So let me come to the third thing. Are you understanding? In this way, we will put your absentees now. Now, third thing, what have you understood about according to the rainfall pattern is these whatever things we have studied. After that, we come to the search. See, whatever the source of the water was on the surface, that were not sufficient and that was continuously being polluted. That naturally we will go in search for the source of the water. And when we went in the search of the water, we started utilizing the water, which is not on the earth. Then where it was? Then where was the water? Not on the earth means?
Underground.
Yes, underground water. We started utilizing the underground water to complete the requirements. We started utilizing the underground water. And along with that, our Indians from the ancient time only, they were aware about the irrigation projects like, what were the irrigation projects they were aware about? Yes, they were aware about
Dams and canals.
dams, canals, and tanks. They were aware about these irrigation projects. Then they started utilizing this for completing their needs.
Dams.
Yes, these were the irrigation projects that they were aware from the ancient time only, and they started utilizing this for completion of the needs for irrigation, that is for agriculture and for the basic requirements. And this was totally controlled by the local people itself. And whatever these stored sources were there, this was completely controlled by the local. And there was a uniform distribution of the water for the villages for completing their requirements. And they used their experience of the decades and the centuries, and totally it was very well managed, sustainably managed, and the conservation of the source was also done. Conservation of the water as well as the sustainable management of the water source was done. This was before the Britishers arrived. As the Britishers arrived, there was again the interference of the Britishers. Due to the interference of the Britishers, the first thing that they introduced in India was, what were the first things that they introduced? They were the first to introduce what did they introduce? The Britishers were the first to introduce the big projects. What were the big projects with respect to the water sources?
Large dams.
Yes, large dams and long distance. Long distance what? Long distance canals. Okay, those who are answering present, remaining members absent. Remember it. Absentees will be more than. So, they were the first to introduce the large dams and the long distance canals. But whatever the things they had been practiced after the British left over India, still the tradition was continued by our irrigation department. They didn't utilize the local knowledge of the local irrigation projects. They continued the path of the Britishers only. Because of that, there was unusual distribution of the water, and there was a total loss of the control of the local people on the local water sources. So this was the effect of the Britishers on India as well as our natural resource which we are speaking. But which source we are speaking now?
Water.
It is
Water.
We are speaking about water, and this is the source that has been completely exploited because of the arrival of the Britishers and after they left also. So now let us discuss about one of the traditional way of utilizing the water source. Say 400 years ago in Himachal Pradesh, there was a popular local irrigation system. Say 400 years back, there was a very popular irrigation system, local irrigation system. It was very popular. The name is KULS, KULHL. The name of that water system is KULS. So what do you mean by KULS now? So we will learn about the traditional irrigation system. This system was introduced in Himachal Pradesh 400 years back, see. This was 400 years back. Okay, this was the system which was introduced in the Himachal Pradesh. They used this system of irrigation in Himachal Pradesh 400 years back. Then let us know what was this system. What was there in this? See, what was there means whatever the water was flowing in the streams, downstream, it was naturally due to the rain and all the naturally it was flowing. That water was made to turn and made to flow through the man-made canals. Water was made to flow through man-made canals here. Okay, water was made to flow through man-made canals. They turned the direction of the water. Whatever the water was flowing downstream, they turned the direction of the water and they made it to flow through the canals which were prepared by the human beings. Okay, this was the thing that was done in the Kul. And whatever, yes, anybody, anything? From Sangesh to everyone, I am Sangesh. So what we have to do with Sangesh? There was a comment here. I am Sangesh. You are Sangesh. Everybody knows what is the new thing in that. Just listen to the class, okay? So let's come to our study, Kul. We were studying about the traditional system, Kul. What is it means? It was introduced 400 years back in Himachal Pradesh. What was the thing? What was the new in this? Whatever the water was flowing through the streams, that was diverted. That was diverted and made to flow through the man-made canals. And these canals were totally looked after by 2 or 3 peoples of the village only. It was totally, the control was by, it was controlled by 2 or 3 people only. What? The flow of the water was totally controlled by 2 or 3 people only. And these people were paid by the villagers. These people were like workers and they were paid by the villagers. Okay, villagers paid them for their work. So the flow of the water which was made to flow in the man-made canals, that flow of the water was controlled by 2 or 3 people. And these people were paid by the villagers. And there was an agreement signed between the villagers how and how much amount of the water should be supplied to the which village. A particular pattern has to be prepared. They will prepare a particular pattern, and according to that only water was supplied to the different villages. There was an agreement signed for the distribution of water. Okay, an agreement was signed. Agreement was signed between whom? Agreement between villagers. Agreement between the villagers was signed, and the distribution of water was according to the agreement between the villagers. The distribution of water, whatever the distribution of water was there, no? It is about the distribution of water. Whatever the distribution of water was there, no? It was according to the agreement between the village sisters. Okay, this is about the distribution of water. How was the water distributed? It was decided among themselves only. Water has to be distributed to the different villages, and that was distributed according to an agreement done between the villages itself. So when the water was flowing in the downstream, it was made to flow through the man-made canal, and it was totally controlled by the 2 or 3 people who were paid by the villages itself. And how was the water distributed? The water was distributed according to the agreement signed between the villagers itself. And during the planting season, now during the planting season, what was the thing? During the planting season, what did they do? First, the water was given, water was supplied to the faraway places. Water was first supplied to the faraway places, and then to the nearer of the places which are very high, which were near or high. At the top only. Okay, water was coming like this downstream. It was made to flow through the man-made canals. Okay, and it was totally controlled by 2 or 3 peoples of the villages, and they were paid by the villagers itself. And how the water was distributed? According to an agreement signed between the villagers itself. And next thing, during the planting season, to whom was the water given first? The first preference during the planting season was given to the people or the villages which were far away, The preference was given to the villages which were far away, and next to the nearer villages. So in this way, totally a uniform distribution of water was there. And as a result of which lots of numerous villages, they were completely getting the water according to their basic needs, and they were completely complete. They were very happy with this agreement and with this kind of the distribution of water. That we call it as kul. What do we call? Yes, how will you pronounce this? Yes, how will you pronounce this?
Schools.
Kuls. We will call it as kuls. And this was 400 years back in Himachal Pradesh. It was in Himachal Pradesh. Okay. So what did they do? They turned or they diverted the water from the streams into the man-made canals. Okay. Water was diverted to flow through the man-made canals. And how it was controlled? It was controlled by 2 or 3 people. They used to control when to supply the water to the different villages. How it has to be supplied? It was controlled totally by the 2 or the 3 people, and they were paid. They will be given a particular amount for their work, and they were paid by the villagers. And how to distribute the water? There was an agreement signed between the villagers. Okay. How to distribute the water? There was a uniform distribution of the water. Whenever the requirement is there for particular different villages, at that time only in time they used to supply the water for the villages. And how it used to be supplied means according to an agreement it used to be supplied. Okay, according to an agreement, based on the agreement done among the villages. According to that, the water was being continuously supplied to the villages. And during the planting season, we are talking about the planting season. During the planting season, the first preference was given to the villages which were far away. Okay, the first preference was given to the far away villages, and then to the villages which are nearer to the water sources. In this way, totally a uniform distribution of water was there. This was before the Britishers arrived, or before the formation of the irrigation department, we'll say. Okay, this is a traditional way. So by seeing this, you can understand, see how our Indians were so talented. At that time only they had started the conservation of the water sources and the sustainable management of the water source was there, isn't it? So now next, the irrigation department arrives. Due to the interference of the irrigation department, they didn't utilize these techniques. There was continuously unequal distribution of the water. That means the local people lost their control from the schools. Due to the interference of the irrigation department, the control of this was totally taken over by the irrigation department. Then they followed their own ways. They didn't utilize the local irrigation methods. They didn't utilize the local knowledge. They didn't follow these methods. Or whatever this method they implemented. They started implementing this method, but they didn't distribute the water uniformly as it was distributed among when the agreement was signed between the villages. They didn't distribute the water in this way. There was unequal distribution of the water, as a result of which again there was villages which were suffering from the scarcity of the water. Okay, this was about the Kuls of Himachal Pradesh. So due to the irrigation department, due to the interference of the irrigation department, the unequal distribution of the water was there. And with the help of the Kuls, they used to percolate the soil, store the water, kind of storation of water. That is called as percolation of the water in the soil was also done. Okay, the water was percolated into the soil. And next, they used to feed the springs also. The water from the pools were utilized for feeding the springs also. Feeding the springs, percolation of the water in the soil. This was also done with the help of the schools. But due to the introduction or due to the takeover of the irrigation department by the, when these schools were totally went under the control of the irrigation department, as the result of which what happened? There was unequal distribution of the water among the villages, not the villagers, villages. The places were lagging due to the water sources. That means there was a scarcity of the water in particular villages, and unequal distribution means naturally they will suffer from the scarcity only. Okay, this was about the pools which were in Himachal Pradesh. So let us sum it up. So this is a traditional way. So what was the importance of this pool? When did it start? When it was
400 years ago.
It was 400 years ago. So where did it start? In which state was it there? Where
Himachal Pradesh.
Himachal Pradesh.
Himachal Pradesh. They were in Himachal Pradesh. And what was the importance? What was the technique? What was actually the technique behind this pool? Yes, what was the technique? How did they utilize the water from the stream? Natural streams were converted. The water from the natural streams were made to pass through what?
Man-made canals.
Man-made canals. Water was diverted. The direction of the water was changed and it was made to flow through the man-made canals. And how it was distributed among the villagers? Yes, how it was distributed?
An agreement.
By the mutual agreement among the villagers. The water was distributed by a mutual agreement among the villagers. And it was controlled by whom? How many members controlled it?
By 2-3 people.
Very good. By 2 or 3 people. See, we should tell you to answer. This is the technique to the writing. Okay. So you should be active like this only in the class. So it was controlled by 2 or 3 people. They were the villagers only. They were among themselves only. These 2 or 3 people will be the villagers only. And they used to be paid by whom? For this work, they used to be paid by the villagers itself. Okay. So 2 or 3 people were there who were controlling the continuous distribution of the water among the villagers, and they were paid by the villagers itself. Okay. And the next thing, during the planting season, who was given the first preference? Yes,
The village which are far away.
very good. The villagers, those who were far away, were given the first preference. And then to the villagers who are nearer. Okay. In this way, the uniform distribution of water was there. And also these pools were utilized for what? Yes, this water was also utilized for, yes, this water was utilized percolation and also to
Feed the springs.
yes, to feed the springs. This water was also utilized for percolation and for feeding the springs also. In this way, the water was continuously, uniformly distributed, isn't it? Now, what was the next thing due to the introduction of the irrigation department? What happened? With the arrival of the irrigation department, or when the irrigation department took the control of the schools from the local people, what happened at that time? Was it maintained as it was maintained by the local people, or it was disturbed?
The water was unequally distributed.
Very good. The water was unequally distributed, as a result of which, when it went under the control of the irrigation department, they have totally destroyed the schools. They have totally exploited the schools. If they would have continued as it was under the control of the local people in the same way, they would have utilized in the better manner, and conservation of water was also there and sustainable management was also there. But due to the introduction or due to the arrival of the irrigation department, totally this kind of the sources were exploited. Okay. Now let us come to the next thing. Did you understand this, schools? No doubt in this, no? Yes,
No,
no doubt,
ma'am.
no? Now let us come to the next thing, the dam. Let us understand about the big projects, that is the dam. And you have learned about the dam in where you haven't? Yes? Just recall, where have you learned about the dam?
In
The
sources
previous-
of energy.
Very good, in sources of energy. And what was the need of construction of the dams over there? Yes, what was the need of construction of dams? What was the need of construction of dams in the sources of energy? Why did they utilize?
For production of electricity.
Very good. For production of the hydroelectricity. Okay. These dams were constructed to produce the hydroelectricity, for the generation of the electricity. Now here we will learn the two main things. Why are these dams constructed? So first thing we have learned, that is for electricity, isn't it? We will utilize these dams for the generation or the production of the electricity. The second thing is for what? What we are studying now. What is another need of the water in the dam? Yes, what do you think? Why is the water utilized not only for the electricity, but one of the main important thing which is necessary for each and everybody. So what is that need? Yes, it
Agriculture.
is for agriculture, that is the irrigation, that is agriculture. Okay, irrigation project. This is one of the biggest irrigation projects. Okay, so the dams are not only for the generation of electricity but also for the irrigation. So the main uses of the dams is generation of electricity and for the irrigation. So how is the water supplied from the dams to the different places? They are supplied, the huge water in the dam is supplied to the different places by the long distance canal. So what they will do, these dams further are connected by these long distance canals, long or large distance canals. Okay, long distance canals are there, which will be connecting the dams to the different villages, cities, other places. Okay, and through these canals, the large amount of the water will be supplied to the different places, as a result of which the scarcity of water will be removed and water will be made available to the different regions. So how is the water in the dam supplied to the different places? How is the water in the dam supplied to the different places? How it is supplied? It is through what? Yes, Pallavi, how it is supplied to the different places? Pallavi. Pallavi, shall I call from the window? Your home is here only, isn't it? Yes, answer me, Pallavi. Or is it a necessity to call from the window? Are you playing outside the home? Or will you answer from here only? Yes, Pallavi, how is the water in the dam supplied to the different places which are very far away from the dam? Yes, how is the water supplied? Pallavi, absent then. Next member, who is the next one? Rakesh Tavarkar. How is the water supplied to the different places? Rakesh, absent or present? Let me ask you. Rakesh Tavarkar. Answer me. Pallavi is absent now. See. Rakesh Tavarkar. How is the water of the dam supplied to the different places which are very far away from the dam? Rakesh absent then. Next to Rakesh. Yes, Rohit, you are here. Answer me. I think I can see you from the window. Yes, how is the water? Yes?
By river.
And how will you connect the river to the dam? I am talking about the... Yes, Rohit?
Ma'am,
Answer.
by canals, rivers.
By the canals. I am speaking about the canals. I was speaking about the canals. Very good, Rohit. Very good. You are present. But Rakesh Tavarkar is absent. Okay. So let me come to the study now. the whatever the huge amount of the water is in the dams, it is supplied to the different places through the long distance canal. Okay, these canals will take the water to the different places which are very far away, and a huge amount of water is also supplied. Okay, huge amount of the water is taken to the different, a great amount of the distances, large water is taken. And as a result of which, due to the construction of the dam and water is being supplied to the different regions, it is supplied to such a regions where you cannot imagine the sources of water. For example, let us take Rajasthan. Okay, Rajasthan, say. In Rajasthan, whatever the dams have the water in it, it can be supplied to the different faraway places where you cannot imagine the sources of water. As a result of which you can see the effect. And one such example is Indira Gandhi Dam, okay? Indira Gandhi Canal, not a dam, Indira Gandhi Canal. The Indira Gandhi Canal has brought greenery to the many areas of Rajasthan. It is because of the Indira Gandhi Canal. So which canal?
Indira Gandhi Canal.
Very good. Indira Gandhi Canal. Due to the Indira Gandhi Canal, many areas of Rajasthan have become green, where you can't imagine a single flower or a single small plant. Rajasthan is totally desert area where you cannot imagine a single small plant. There, with the introduction of the Indira Gandhi Canal, with the help of the Indira Gandhi Canal, they have brought a complete greenery in many areas of the Rajasthan. This is the best example where they have utilized the canals in a very best manner and used it for the benefit of the life. That means water is being very finely utilized for the production of the plants or vegetation, whatever it is, for the agriculture. Okay, the best example where you can see the best utilization of the canal water is Indira Gandhi Canal, that has brought greenery. Greenery means it has made green to many areas of the Rajasthan. Okay, this is the best example for utilization of the water from the dams through the canals. So which is the best example for the utilization of the dam water through the canal? Yes, which is the best example that we are studying now for bringing up the greenery through the water.
Indira Gandhi Canal.
It is Indira Gandhi Canal. Where is it linked to? It links to which place or which areas or which state?
Rajasthan.
It is in Rajasthan and has brought it is in Rajasthan. It has brought a greenery. Total, it has made green. So this is one of the benefits. But there are some demerits also. We are speaking about the benefit, but there are some demerits also. See, mismanagement or unequal distribution of water is also there. This is one of the merit of the dam. But there are demerits also. While studying about the production of the hydroelectricity, that time also we have learned about the demerits. And one such demerit is common here. What is that? What may be the demerit? Yes, what you have learned during the production of the hydroelectricity. What was the demerits there? What were the disadvantages there when you were studying about the production of the hydroelectricity? What were the disadvantages at that time? Yes, will you just list me? Yes,
To build the dams, large areas are needed.
Due to the construction of the dams, large areas where, with respect to the water sources, you have to discuss now. Yes. Yes, what will happen? Due to the collection of water at a particular place, what happens? A large amount of the vegetation gets destroyed. And next thing.
Agricultural land get destroyed.
Agriculture land will destroy. Next thing. Very good. Yes, next thing. Next, what did you observe there? The people who were living over there were made to be displaced. Okay, they were made vacant from, the place was made vacant about the biodiversity. That means the people were displaced. The people has to be displaced. And while displacing the people, they will not just, if we say you vacant this place, we are building a dam here, they will go naturally like this only. No, they want a compensation for it, because totally whatever the house and everything is set up, they will destroy and go on. Is what they have to do. So according to the government, government will promise to pay some compensation, and they will give a particular area for the establishment of the total new buildings or new houses for them. They will allot a particular area. The one who has been displaced due to this building up of this dam has to go in that particular place and establish their own things there. Okay. In this way, they will give them a particular area, and a compensation amount will also be given. But what is the real thing is, whatever they have been promised, whatever the people will be promised due to the construction of the dams, whatever the benefits they are going to get due to the construction of the dams, they will never get up to that much extent. And whatever the amount of the compensation is to be allotted, they will not get that amount also. They may get less, and sometimes they will not get at all. Only they will give the place. You have to be displaced from here. You have to go there and establish your home, your business, everything there. You have to go and set up there. They will tell like this. So due to the construction of the dams, and what are the main problems means, the vegetation will be spoiled, agricultural land will be spoiled, the people will be displaced without adequate amount of the compensation. They will not get the benefit. And another thing, the regions or the places which are very near to the water sources will grow water intensive crops. They will get a large amount of profit. They will start growing water intensive crops like sugar cane, rice, which gives more profit, and the people who are very far away will get less amount. They will not at all get, they will suffer from the scarcity of water. Then how to grow the crop? That is a big problem. And these are the problems that are being faced due to the construction of the dams. One way, the benefit is that they will supply the water to the places where we cannot imagine the source of water, as a result of which we are seeing the green revolution, the greenery, total green area we are seeing. We are able to see the new habitation developing over there. But the demerits are, we will see that due to the construction of these dams, a large amount of the agricultural area will be destroyed. A large amount of the biodiversity will be destroyed, and the people will be displaced without the adequate amount of the compensation. Okay, these are the demerits because of the dam. So what are the demerits now? Let us make a list. What are the demerits due to the construction of the dam? First demerit. What is the first demerit?
The agricultural land will be destroyed.
The agricultural land will be destroyed. Okay, one finish. Next, second one. Second, what happens?
Large vegetation will be destroyed.
That agricultural and large vegetation will be spoiled. They may be. Let us come to the
The people will
biodiversity.
be displaced.
Yes, peoples will be displaced. Okay, peoples will be displaced. Then the third amount, the people will be displaced without giving the adequate amount of the compensation. The compensation will be not as much they have been promised. They may give less amount, and sometimes no only. They will be just given a place over there. Instead of a place, we are giving you a place. No compensation. Like this, it will be. Okay. So the people will be displaced, and the displaced people will face large amount of the difficulties. They will face many difficulties. And the next thing is what? Next thing is what? Loss of the biodiversity. That means not only the vegetation or the agriculture, there may be the animals also. Totally, we are saying about the plants and animals. That means there is loss of biodiversity. Okay, there is a loss of biodiversity. So these were the merits of the dam, and these were the demerits of the dam. And what are the two main purposes of building up of the dam? What are the two main purposes? What are the two main purposes of building up of a dam? One is for
Electricity and irrigation.
one is electricity, another one is irrigation. Okay, this was about the dam. So let us continue in the next class. Anybody any doubt in this thing?
No, ma'am.
No, no. Okay. Thank you for today's class. And Monday you have to submit the book. See, I am again reminding you about the submission of the fair book and the class test paper. So is it clear, everybody? Are you hearing me? It is a reminder to you. So you have to submit the fair book. If you have completed today, if your parents are working parents, then tomorrow is Sunday, they will be holiday for them. Then tomorrow, if the school is open, you can come and collect the books. Come and give the books, okay? You can give the books in the school. Is it clear? Monday, I should get everybody's fair book. If anybody's fair book is absent, if anybody's fair book is not there, then 8 days absent for you in your attendance. And attendance is the most important thing for your final exam. On the basis of this only, because this is an online class, if I will put absent for 8 days for you, then you will face a problem. Yes, you can ask. If you have doubt, you can ask. Yes, what is the doubt?
Why don't the planet twinkle as they are much closer to the Earth?
Twinkle. See, we spoke about that morning star only, no, at that time. See, sun is continuously giving the light energy, and it is the amount of the light that it is giving is enormous. It is very enormous. As a result of which, the object which does not generate naturally their own light. Planets, they won't produce their own light. On planets, there are no some phenomena as it is going on sun. On sun, there are continuously, what kind of the reaction is going on sun? Yes, fission or fusion. Yes, Priyanka, what is the reaction that is going on sun? Due to that reaction, continuously the sun is emitting the light. Sun is emitting its own light. It is continuously giving its own light. But whereas the planets, there is no such phenomenon on the planet. They will not give their own light. They will just reflect the light that is falling on them. As a result of which, if you just take the example of a bulb and any other object. For example, take a spoon. Okay, spoon is like a planet and bulb is like the sun. So which will shine more? Which will give you the light more? Whether the bulb will give or the spoon? Bulb. It is in the same way. Bulb is your sun and the spoon is your planet. Okay. The planets, they will not produce their own light. But sun continuously produces the light energy. As a result of which sun will give the light and planets will not shine. The best example is the bulb and the spoon. The spoon is your planet and the sun is your bulb. Okay. Is it clear now?
And then stars will twinkle.
We have learnt about the twinkling of the star. See, it is in night, isn't it? Okay, tomorrow I'll explain. It is 10 o'clock. Tomorrow I'll clarify your doubt. Okay, is it clear? In the next class I'll clarify your doubt. Okay, Priyanka? It is 10 now. The bell has already gone, 15 minutes over. Thanks for today's class. In the next class I'll clarify your doubt. Okay? Thank you.